YouTube. How's it going? Apple Music,
Hello.
Spotify, Google Podcasts. How are you guys? It's a Sunday, and it's a very special day, homies. 50th episode.
Is it?
It's the reason why it's a special episode. Besides the fact that we actually did
More
something.
power, baby.
Jesus. The reason why it's a special episode, and it's not just because we actually did something for a decent amount of time and didn't abandon ship and leave. It's the fact that this is a really special retro episode.
Sunday? But Josh, that's
Sunday.
usually
I know.
a new album.
Yeah. Well,
New
everything
album.
else sucks, and we've been avoiding doing this because we wanted it to be special. Okay.
Special day.
But this is Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory. 2000, this album came out. We were 8 years old.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, I was 9. Thank you.
It's too bad, Jason. I've
man.
already cussed, all right?
More power, baby.
That's right.
Shit.
Fuckity fuck, motherfucker. But yes, it's gonna be a great breakdown, a great review. I got things to say. Cody probably got a hell of things to say, and so does Brett. This is gonna be a great time. Strap in, everybody. Strap in.
Strap in, turn the car on, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button and the come follow us on Twitch button and all that other good stuff. Yeah. Josh did a great intro. It's a very special album. I can't wait.
Yes.
All right.
Let's get into it.
All right. So this
ready.
episode's gonna be like 4 hours long.
Yeah, I know.
We are reviewing.
I might keep mine quick just to help condense that.
Yeah.
What Cody said.
Yeah, what Cody said. Got it.
I agree.
I also agree. No, we don't have a whole story to go through like Black Parade, which I think is, besides the old episodes where we included all the before news stuff, which, hey, you could also watch live. We cut that part out on YouTube. Whoa. But we laughed at a Lars Ulrich toilet today, so that was pretty funny.
It's a good time.
I'm surprised we didn't get taken down for that, actually.
Yeah.
I know. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
You can't get taken down for art, okay? Okay.
Art, it's fine.
The cancel culture. Yeah, anyway. So I just want to know, before we get into the actual album, Linkin Park, you know them, you love them. I would like to know y'all's earliest Linkin Park memory, or if you can't remember, the best one you got. Or both. Fuck it.
I got one.
Okay, go.
I got one. All right, I'll go ahead. So, yeah, we're 8 years old when this album came out. So I remember this was my Vegas times, and over summer when school's out, I went to the church for summer school kind of shit, summer vacation stuff. So this album came out during that time, and I remember we had to sneak this shit because this was church people like no you can't be listening to Linkin Park. And so me and this kid I had the CD, and so I would sneak my CD player in, and we go hide behind a bush. And it was these kind of headphones, and just kind of sit next to each other and listen to this album. Just that was what we did every day for that entire summer. It was a lot of fun. It was cool.
Yeah, I don't really have a church experience memory here, dude. my dad was Catholic, and he was like, "We're not putting you guys through that." So we didn't go.
Because for me it was the opposite of, I did it, you gotta do it. Shut up.
Yep.
We all hate it.
Yep.
Yeah, my dad was like, no. So we didn't do none of that. But I'm trying to think. The first time I ever heard Linkin Park, I feel like it was because of you, Brett. And actually cared about it as a fan.
Oh, sure.
Maybe I might have heard a track or two on the radio or something, growing up, but I feel like 6th, 7th grade, that time,
Yeah.
like going over and hanging out with you, I think I did hear Meteora first. And then you were like, but we gotta listen to Hyper Theory, and then we also gotta listen to the Jay-Z fucking one, and then we also gotta, and it was like just like that our entire 7th grade, right? Listening to that.
Well, that's because I had the Meteora poster right next to the Green Day poster.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, I knew they existed, but like I was, I don't know, more of a Green Day person and a Blink-182 person and stuff like that. So like I never really got into too much of it, to this new metal. Like it was super fun and cool, but I do think it was like you showing me this and be like, yeah, this stuff's from like California, bro. You want to listen?
Yeah, I brought my West Coast shit over here.
Want me to blow your minds? They're from California, and sometimes they sing fast. It's called rapping. What?
Whoa! Right.
What?
So I think, so I think that's kind of where my mind was. Like I said, I think I heard like Faint maybe was like the first song I ever heard, and then going back, wow, Runaway, what a great song. Points of Authority, wow, what a great, like, just every song, wow, damn, they're good.
Wow,
but then like, wow. But like, I think, overall my experience with Linkin Park really like culminated to like the point of us seeing them live for, I think it was Minutes to Midnight, 1,000 Suns. I always get this confused. I think it was 1,000 Suns.
Which one?
The concert we went to was like 20.
20, 1,000 Suns.
1,000 Suns.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like it all culminated to that point. After that, I stopped kind of caring about Linkin Park, which is a shame. Like I knew we listened to the music and we like still followed them, but we weren't like Linkin Park,
Oh, I definitely did. I kept it quiet because it was not the best stuff in the world.
Because that's the cringe stuff after that. But
yeah,
like,
watching party and stuff is what it is.
Yeah, hunting party.
Hunting party. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so like that
can't
whole.
even get the name right.
I know, right?
No, but I think that's kind of where it all led to. Is like really experiencing this and seeing them change and getting better. And even though the music obviously went from really heavy stuff, new metal, hanging out with Korn all the time, right, and then like getting into we want to be on the radio more and make some money, right? Like there was that. I think it all culminated there for me, and that's kind of my experience with them. Cody.
For me, God, I don't know what my earliest one is. It's gonna be either seeing the One Step Closer video or hearing Crawling on the radio. It's one of those two.
Yep. I
mean, they are listening to this album in particular, some of my earliest clear like memories. Like I could remember back to like shit that happened when I was 3, and I've anecdotally like remembered things like, oh, one time I got caught eating dog food or whatever when I was like 2. Like I remember stuff like that happening and telling the stories of it, but like there's like a cutoff point with your memory, right, where you stop remembering things clearly as they happen, and it just becomes those anecdotal stories, right?
Yep.
These music videos, hearing these songs and learning these songs, some of my earliest ones. There's another like really early one with like I remember driving with my mom after swim lessons and singing along to Backstreet Boys when Larger Than Life came out.
I was a big Backstreet Boys fan back then.
Oh, me too.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like this one, dude, I was on the phone with my mom telling her that we were doing this album this week, and I was just like, "Yo, do you remember that? Like how monumental that was?" And she's like, "Yeah, no, that for sure." Like. So it's either that. Best memory though. Oh, absolutely, I will. Don't even tempt me, Jason.
Which one though?
Millennium.
Millennium. The one before was pretty good though too.
It's good. Millennium is the one.
Overall a better package.
Yeah. It's kind of like NSYNC, no strings attached. Come on, you're gonna do bye 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 over.
Right.
No, if we're gonna do boy band, we're doing O-Town. Okay.
Boy band month. What's up? I'm about it. Anyway, I think best memory though, it's a sad one, but it's probably my most like defining one. There was a time, angsty middle school kid, communication with the mom not working, but then Numb came on, and I'm like, pull over at the Amscot in front of the Walmart on Gun Highway. because I'm having an emotional damage moment, and we're gonna sit there and
Emotional
cry.
damage.
It's yeah. And we're gonna sit there and we're gonna analyze these lyrics because I don't know what puberty is, and I have a lot of emotions I'm not ready to handle yet, Mom. I've
Dude.
become so numb. You're forcing things on me I don't want to do, and then that's that's where our relationship starts. Me and my mom.
I have a very similar kind of memory for Numb. All right, so I remember because when that album came out, that was when we decided to move to Tampa.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, from Vegas, and so I remember sitting up in our office. It was kind of like you go up the stairs and it's just like this open little loft, and listening to that album, and as soon as Numb finished, I was just like crying my eyes out. You know, I was freaking out. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm leaving!" You know, I have to meet new friends and shit. And it was a big moment, but it was so stupid looking back. But like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
At the time.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. It's man. This band has been around for all of our major moments. Izzy in chat said that they have a funny story about Linkin Park. In 2014, a friend of theirs went to see Linkin Park, 30 Seconds to Mars, and AFI, which is a great show.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Apparently, Jared Leto was in the crowd doing a song, and then he had to run back up on stage to do the next one, and ran a guy in the crowd over, just right next to their friend.
Oh, nice.
I mean, that's a Jared Leto thing.
My way, I'm gonna be the Joker soon. I'm gonna send my cast members dead birds and shit.
Well, that had to be a Project Revolution, right?
Yesterday. Yeah. I think so.
2014.
Yeah?
Usually, yeah, most likely. 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah.
We've all been to a Project Revolution, right?
No,
Have y'all?
I have not.
I feel like I should have been.
You did.
Maybe I want it. Maybe
You
I
guys,
think I did.
you and Joey did back in the day.
That's right. Yeah.
No, I did not. The only one I've gone to is that Thousand Suns tour.
Okay.
I'll talk about that later. So yeah, let's get into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
Oh my god, I am so ready for this.
Minnesota State Fair. Okay.
Oh hey there, don't you know? We're gonna see the Linkin Parks. Oh boy, that Jared Leto guy, real pretty to look at here. I've never been to Minnesota. Am I doing a good job?
Pretty close. That's pretty close. Yeah, pretty good.
Well, I'm one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break because this is Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park's debut studio album, released October 24th in the year 2000. It has 12 tracks on it, coming in at 37 minutes and 45 seconds. Rather short, honestly.
Yeah.
And it has some bonus tracks on the Japanese version that are worth mentioning, but not really diving into, because the better versions of those are on Reanimation, My December and High Voltage, The Unforgettable Sound, High Voltage, Leaving You Up and Taking You Down, X-Men and stuff. The performers on this album were Chester Bennington, the God, on vocals,
Rip.
Mike Shinoda on the rap vocals, the keyboards, the programming, the samples, the rhythm guitar, the piano. He did the artwork. He did the production. Mike Shinoda all over the place on this one. No way.
No way.
Send him Adam right now. If you're streaming. Tell him to come over.
He might be streaming, actually.
Maybe. Brad Delson on guitars and the bass. Joe Hahn on turntables, samples, synthesizers, and also the artwork. And Rob Burdon on the drums and percussions. It features, you might be thinking, hey, there's a key member of Linkin Park. Their lineup has never changed since this album. Where's the bass player? Oh, I'll get to that in a bit. Has some featuring bass players. Ian Hornbeck did the bass on Paper Cut, Place for My Head, and Forgotten. And Scott Cozzoli, if that's how you say his name, was the bass player on One Step Closer. That's the guy that you see in the video.
In the video.
Okay. And then the Dust Brothers, who are credited as sequencing and samples for With You. They are famous for being a sample-based music produced that they made back in the 80s and 90s, and most famously worked on Paul's Boutique by Beastie Boys, Odelay, Midnight Vultures, and Guerrero by Beck, the Fight Club soundtrack, and Mbop by Hanson.
Are you serious? So bad.
Cringe.
The production
Trash.
team were Don Gilmore. He was a producer and engineer. He's worked with a bunch of bands from the 90s like Temple of Dog, the Proto Pearl Jam, Eve 6, Good Charlotte, Trust Company. Remember them? Remember Trust Company?
Not
Simple
really.
Plan,
No.
Lit.
Remember Lit?
Hollywood Undead, and Lacuna Coil.
No way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a bunch of butt rock. Got it.
Got it. Steve Sisko did the engineering, and then two guys that coming back from previous episodes. Andy Wallace did the mixing. He's one of the biggest names in the game. I forget which episode we talked about him with.
He touches everything.
He touches every. That's the guy that touches everything.
He's the guy that touches everything.
That's right.
And then Brian Gardner, we just saw him on the Blink-182 album.
Nice.
He did the mastering.
Nice.
Makes sense.
The singles for this album were One Step Closer, Crawling, Paper Cut, and In the End. Points of Authority also got a music video, but was never an official single. Neither was Runaway, but it was on the radio a little bit. I don't know. Radio was weird back then. Originally formed by Mike, Rob, and Brad, who were all friends in high school, like us. Hey, Pog. The trio later recruited Joe, Dave Phoenix Farrell, and Mark Wakefield to make up the band Zero with an X. Whoa.
Ooh.
Oh.
And they started making songs in Mike's makeshift bedroom studio all the way back in 96.
Josh, did we not take the name Zero with Joey because of that?
We did. Yeah,
'Cause we're like, hey, they're not using it anymore. We could take it.
uh-huh. Yeah, we're edgy.
So stupid.
Tensions were rising after being unable to land a record deal, prompting Mark Wakefield to leave the band completely, and Dave, aka Phoenix, to tour with Christian ska punk band Tasty Snacks, also with an X.
Ooh,
So that's what he was doing. He was like,
2000
hey,
was hardcore, bro.
yeah, dude. Well, I mean, you got a band that's not working out. You got another band that is touring and making money. Gonna go make that Christian money, you know?
Listen,
Wait for
I
it
just
to.
think I just think it's hilarious that you our record deal, that's not happening. I guess I'm just gonna leave the band. Like, who
Well,
thinks
man.
that you're gonna be making music and actually getting a record deal in this day and age? The 90s was a different time. It really was.
Different time completely.
Yep.
But I mean,
Yeah.
hey, makes sense. You got an opportunity, go make money. Go make that money, dude. You know?
Sure. Yep.
He would come back before the album drop, but we'll get there in a bit. Yeah, he came back as a permanent member shortly before the album release, which is why the first video for One Step Closer is the only one not featuring him. And it's the other guy. Jeff Blue, who was then the vice president of Zomba Music, recommended an Arizona vocalist by the name of Chester Bennington of the post-grunge band Grey Days to replace Mark Wakefield. This addition prompted the band to change the name from Zero to Hybrid Theory and released a new EP in '99, which was circulated across chat rooms with the help of an online street team. And much of this EP would be foundation of what would become this album. Linkin Park played an unheard of 42 different showcases for the record industry representatives, including LA bigwig promoter Mike Galaxy's showcase at the gig on Melrose.
Wait, hold on. They played
Though gaining
42.
showcases.
No way.
Yeah. Usually you only need the one.
Yeah.
The internet didn't exist. You could put that shit in Dropbox and be like, hey, you like this? Like, it didn't exist.
42.
Yeah, crazy. So though they were gaining popularity, the band was still unable to secure a record deal, being turned down by most of the major labels and several independent labels. Couldn't even get on an independent label, this poor band. They had to struggle to get here, man. We're lucky we got this album and this band. Turning once again to Jeff for help, who by now was the VP of Warner Brother Records. Even though they had been turned down 3 times previously by Warner Brothers, he was able to push them through and get them signed. The caveat, however, was that the band needed to change their name to avoid confusion with another band called Hybrid. After considering the names Clear, that's Clear with a P, and Platinum Lotus Foundation, two great names.
Oh my god.
They didn't choose those? Mike? Really?
Platinum
Dude.
Lotus Foundation.
Yeah, PLF.
Pluff.
Oh no.
Not
Wolf and
ELP.
No. Or ELO. The band later then settled on Linkin Park to play on words and on homage to Santa Monica's Linkin Park, which is now named Christine Emerson Reed Park. And from what I've heard from Sugar Pine 7, scary to go to at certain times of the day. Fun fact, they originally wanted to use the spelling of Linkin Park, named after, like Lincoln, the guy from the president thing.
Oh yeah,
speech.
Abraham.
Abraham, that's correct. But changed it to the spelling we all know and love in order to acquire the domain linkinpark.com. Man, fucking forward thinking. Okay?
Internet.
Wow. They're like, yeah, it's spelled this way. Easy to remember. Easier to fucking even spell. Lincoln? Spell Lincoln right now. You're not going to, because I'm moving on. The band had to fight with Warner Brothers A&R team over their hip-hop and rock style approach, and actually suggested to Chester that he should either demote or fire Mike to focus on making this a pure rock and roll album. Chester said, nah, fuck that, and refused to compromise with the band's vision for the album. Don Gilmore and Andy Wallace took up production duties alongside Mike and mainly focused on re-recording and reworking some of the songs off of the demo tape. The whole process only lasting 4 weeks. 4 weeks! One of the best albums of all time.
To do
Granted,
this album?
it's like half a decade's worth of trial and error with the demos, which we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, 4 weeks. Boom. Gold. Easy. Easy clap.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Money.
The overall sound was heavily inspired by Depeche Mode, Deftones, Stone Temple Pilots, U2, and The Roots. Mike's verses saw the most significant changes from the demos, while the choruses largely remained unchanged. Chester and Mike wrote the lyrics of Hybrid Theory based on early demos with Mark, and with Mike categorizing the lyrics as an interpretation of universal feelings, emotions, and experiences, and everyday emotions you think and talk about. Chester later described the experience to Rolling Stone, saying, quote, "It's easy to fall into that thing, poor me. That's where the songs like Crawling come from. I can't take myself. But that song is about taking responsibility for your actions. I don't say you at any point. It's about how I'm the reason that I feel this way. There's something inside me that pulls me down." Lyrically, the content touches upon the problems that Chester encountered during his childhood, including but not limited to constant and excessive drug and alcohol abuse, the divorce of his parents, isolation, disappointments, and the aftermath feelings of a failed relationship. So that's kind of like the little background. We're gonna go into the songs a little bit more. Before I do, I just wanted to throw it back over to you guys. Anything you want to add about the history anecdotally, like that you just know?
I mean, I think looking at this as a whole package, right? Like, obviously, we didn't know what Chester was going through at this point in time in the early 2000s, right? He wasn't really a household name until they started getting more popular. But looking at it, post-mortem, right? Him saying that stuff back in the 2000s now, it makes so much sense, and it sucks that no one really put those things together.
Yeah.
It's like,
I think they were put together. I just feel like it was more of, you kind of didn't think he was going to do anything. You would oh, he's rich and successful now, he's better. That's that kind of mentality. I'm guessing, because it's to find that in the music, especially when as time went on and more music came out, it was easy to kind of put two and two together there. It's just, I don't know, you never had a sense that he was actually gonna do anything about that.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. That's just my take on it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, going back to just this album, probably the first, because again, yeah, like I said earlier, before this, it was all just pop stuff for me, just whatever was on the radio. Yeah, I heard Rage Against the Machine and other stuff that was playing on the rock station in New Orleans at the time. But none of those songs, I mean, yeah, they get deep, but like this, no one was talking about this stuff back then. Nu metal at the time was big and full, and Jonathan Davis whipping his dick around, being like,
Yeah.
look at me, boom, bop, boom, Like, no one was actually talking about real shit. This is the start of emo right here, baby.
Right. I think that's a really important part and point, because when people are like, oh yeah, Linkin Park, that's an emo band, right? That's an emo genre. Not really. But looking at the lyrics and the tone of what was happening in the songs, I guess you can stick them in there, right? When, of course, they were a nu metal band, right? They were doing stuff with drop tunings and 7-string guitars in
Or
the
hip-hop
2000s
based as well.
Right. Yeah, because you saw stuff, Limp Bizkits and the Corns, though when they were doing this stuff, it was like cringy and grimy and like, oh, that's for like freaks, right? But then you look at Linkin Park, it's like they look like that, but they're sad boys.
Yep.
Right. And it was a little different. And I
They're
think
sad boys.
what separated them from Korn, right? Korn obviously is popular and I guess the originators of this sound in a lot of ways were never palatable to everybody. But Linkin Park was able to be like, yeah, I can do some raps, we can do heavy parts and scream, but then like I'm gonna have a ballad and we're gonna sing, and it's gonna be nice and people can sing along with me.
And everyone's gonna
That was-
cry.
And that's the difference. I think that's what pushed them over into a place where everyone could care about them.
They had the gall to be like, you know what? In 2000, it's okay to be in a metal band and cry. Let's talk about our emotions, babe. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And like, going back to Korn, the other originators of nu metal and everything, where Chester is sitting here talking about, drugs and recognizing that, hey, these habits aren't particularly good. Let's talk about how, I don't want to be doing all this stuff because it's damaging. Korn they couldn't write an album without being high on meth the whole time. So, different subject matters going on there. All day
bit.
I dream about sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Right.
So, yeah.
It's that authenticity, I think, that really set them apart.
Very, very authentic. Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. The not meth part. Right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go through the track listing. If at any point there is something, obviously just jump in. So Paper Cut starts it out. The beat was influenced by Timbaland, actually, with early nu metal guitars and a jungle beat at the same time, allowing for 3 major genre blends right away, right out the door. Mike said that this was the moment he realized this was what he wanted the album to sound like, but he fucking hates the music video. He was like, it is the dumbest thing we've ever done. He was like, Chester showed up in like plaid pants, but we were fighting all the time about like dumb stuff, so you had to pick and choose your battles, and we were just there to make a music video, so I was just like, whatever, I'll let that one slide. And then it's just really bad CGI. I don't know what we were doing.
That's good.
Yep.
One Step Closer was the first single. It was gradually recorded in increments after the band struggled with writing Runaway, and the music video was shot in an LA subway, becoming an instant classic. We watched it before the show. I remember that thing clear. Mike's red hair.
Yep.
Why did he have it?
It's like a fucking circus, bro. It's
Yep.
so weird. It's wild.
Okay, you got all of the Matrix going on at one time right there.
Yeah. I know.
I remember watching like behind the music video for that on like Yahoo or maybe Fuse or something like that, and Chester was talking about it. I just remember him going, yeah, and then we have like monks just on wires flipping around, and I don't really get it, but it's cool. Also, shout out to Chester, and shout out to 50 Cent nowadays. He did that whole part while being upside down. You could see the strings on him in the video.
Yeah.
He said, I think he almost passed out because of all the blood going to his head during the takes.
Yep.
I believe it.
Yep.
You'll also notice, I said previously, Phoenix not in this video. It's because he wasn't, he hadn't joined the band yet. Scott is on the video and in the promotional shots as well, I think. No, it's just 5 of them. That's right.
Yeah, just the 5. Yeah.
Yep. So missed out on that day of work.
He was sick.
What was it? He was sick. Yeah, COVID.
Yeah, COVID. Yep. Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh, yeah.
SARS V1.
Literally just did that.
He missed his yearbook photo.
Yep.
Sad.
Sure did.
I love all the memes though of him just like gazing down on them from the sky.
Dude, the ones with the fucking cowboy hat, and he's like, yeah.
Hey, F1 show coming back soon. Every F1 race, me and Brett watching it along with you. Chat in Discord. Comes watch it. Big fun time. I'm done selling out. The band was forced to fight for this song during the recording process, with Don drilling them about the lyrics. They were rewritten about 30 times, with the breaking point being when Chester said, all right, here's attempt number 31, and Don went, do it again. Didn't even fucking bother reading it, just like, no, do it again. So that whole song, that frustration, One Step Closer, is all about riding one step closer. I'm one step closer to the edge. I'm about to break. I need a little room to breathe. Like, shut up when I'm talking to you. It's all about fighting with the producer. I love it. He did that thing.
Meta.
Wow.
Meta,
He did that thing that producers are afraid to do now, because then they'll just get fired and hire another one, which is producers used to push bands. I remember for the Black Album for Metallica, they worked with the guy who produced Dr. Feelgood by Motley Crue. And I remember, not Lars, James being like, that was our fucking worst enemy. Fuck Motley Crue. We hated those guys, but that album fucking outsold us. So we got the producer and we had to fight with them to make that sound the way it did. And I went through and listened to all the demos from the 20th anniversary in prep for this, because I had some of the demos like Esol, Carousel, all that stuff from like LimeWire and stuff like that.
Yep.
But for them to release them all in a high quality format, as high quality as you could get, real poggers move on the band's part. But man, listening to how the songs changed over time, especially with Mike's verses and all that stuff, and with hearing songs that didn't change, like Crawling's relatively the same. Points of Authority is, for the most part the same.
And the end is very different.
Very different. Holy
same
shit.
Same with Runaway. Like that's literally just like a template. Yeah.
Producers aren't too afraid to push people anymore. This guy was not afraid to be like, no, you're an unsigned band. You don't know what you're doing. You got the right idea though. Rework it, redo it, figure it out. And then what came out was just so good. So props to that guy. With You, as I said earlier, took the samples from an unreleased Dust Brothers track, with everything being layered on top of it to create the song that we know now. And this was the first collab that the band ever did with anybody, where they took someone else's stuff and been like, we're gonna apply our own thought process to it and do it. And later you get Collision Course, you get Reanimation next. I mean, one of the earliest bands I remember collabing with other people.
To that level.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Points of Authority is about a toxic relationship, and the band harnessed the power of digital technology now available to them. Brad said that he wrote the riff, but then he went home, and while he was home, Mike took the riff, decided to cut it up into different pieces and rearrange them on the computer, forcing Brad to then come back and have to relearn the part that he wrote from the computer track. And then the video that we saw in the pre-show is actually on the band's first DVD, titled "Frat Party at Pancake Festival."
Nice.
Yeah.
Great.
Great. Crawling is about Chester's feeling that he had no longer had control over himself in terms of drugs and alcohol. Okay. So, real quick, lyric analysis. What's the fear line in the chorus? Crawling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal.
Fear is how I
crawl.
crawl. Yeah.
It's actually fear is how I fall.
Or
But
fall. Yeah.
originally, the line was fear is powerful. I noticed that when I was re-listening to the demo and everything. Don actually misheard the lyric as fear is how I fall.
I fall.
And he was like, hey,
Word.
I really like that line. Fear is how I fall. And Chester and Mike said, yeah, that's the line.
That is it.
I'm just gonna, don't look now. I'm just gonna re-jot something down real fast. Crawling later went on to win the best hard rock performance at the 44th Grammys in 2002. Mike didn't know what this category was. Thinking it was like, I thought it was best song. No, it's best performance. It's the best studio performance. To which he solely credits to Chester's vocals in it, saying that no one else can do it how he did it, and that every attempt there's been is a mere shadow. And I think, you know, we think of Numb and In the End as like the big songs, but like, yo, Crawling, Chester put it out there for like that.
Oh, yeah.
His screams and all that stuff are, man, they're massive.
Yep, top tier.
Yep.
Runaway tells the journey of the band changing through the years from the demo of Stick and Move, where it is that little sample that you mentioned, Josh, to where they ended up at the time. By Myself was written by Mark with Mark back in the Zero days, and was one of the songs that executives liked when they first heard the demos, and they wanted to hear it live. But there was no band yet. It was just the three of them. It was just Brad, Mike, and Mark. So they couldn't. They're like, we gotta get some other people in this. This was a stepping stone for the band in learning how to write songs for a live setting, trying to encapsulate that live energy in the studio. Something that, you know, I, in the Inner Shikari episode, highly praised them for. And I said, yeah, it comes from these guys for sure. In the End came from Mike locking himself in their super sketchy rehearsal space overnight, and they instantly knew that it was going to be something special when they heard it. Mike was saying to Kerrang, in an interview I was watching, that, you know, there was a lot of like disagreements, you know, just like small stuff, just everyone has their own opinion and all that stuff. And he said Chester in particular never got why the singles were the singles that they chose. He was like, I guess. Everyone else was like, yeah, no, this definitely, Crawling's definitely a single. And Chester was like, I don't think it should be a single, but okay. This was the one that everyone agreed. They were like, no. This hold on. We got something, boys. And I think they were right, because In the End and Numb, over 1 billion views each on YouTube.
I have right there is an In the End poster with all the lyrics on it and all of their signatures. My mom and dad got me that.
Hell yeah. The video for In the End
doesn't even matter.
It doesn't
even matter.
It doesn't matter.
The video for In the End was shot at various stops along the 2001 Ozfest tour and was directed by Nathan Karma Cox and Joe Hahn. Joe, they both directed the video for Paper Cut as well. And Joe would later go on and direct a lot of their videos. While the background was shot in a Cali desert, the band itself performed on a studio stage in LA, allowing for Joe and Nathan to set off the water pipes above the stage and drench the band completely. Real effects, yeah.
Yeah.
That video would go on to win Best Rock Video at the 2002 MTV VMAs. A Place for My Head was originally named Esau after Mark's roommate. This was Brad's favorite song to play live. Don't blame him. Goes fucking hard.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Forgotten was a part of the new batch of demos after the original set, and was an integral part in the band focusing on blending the hip-hop and rock sound. Cure for the Itch was the band wanting to fully experiment with their electronic sound and give, you know, Joe Hahn something to do. Fucking great. And Push Me Away was Mike and Brad wanting to write a Depeche Mode song. I remember, Brett, we were watching them reacting to old videos, and they were just pushing me away the entire time. They're like, this is our worst song.
Yeah.
Even in that Kerrang video with Mike, he was like, I don't know why we chose this one to end it on, but yeah, we did. It's a song. It exists.
You know, you kind of notice a lot of that kind of stuff with Reanimation because it's drastically different.
It has a whole different chorus that
Well,
whenever
even the song, but like even like where the track listings are.
track 5, yep.
You know,
Oh yeah.
It's so much different than Hybrid Theory.
Yeah. It was so great. The artwork, iconic album down there into the bottom left of the corner, was done by Mike. He was a graphic designer before becoming the musician, and knew that the artwork was very important on how the band was to present themselves for the very first time. The result was, as you can see right above me, the winged soldier, which Mike illustrated himself. Chester said that the idea of the soldier with the dragonfly wings was to describe the blending of the hard and soft musical elements used by the band, and the use of jaded looks of the soldier and frail touches of the wings, and everything was influenced by the early works of one Banksy. So I didn't even know Banksy was around back then.
I didn't either, but I could definitely see that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
The album debuted at number 16 on the US Billboard 200, selling 50,000 copies in its first week, certified gold after just 5 weeks of being released, and by the end of 2001 had sold 4 million in the US, making it the best-selling album that year.
Killed it.
4.8 million for a band with nothing.
Yeah.
But they had to all that work.
So there's a couple people that like them.
All that work that they had to go through, 0.8 million. Brilliant.
I mean, there is a lot of, thinking about the times too. Obviously, credit to the band, credit to the music, because it's great. But like, there was no other way to listen to it besides buying it.
No, yeah.
Oh, back then?
Right.
Music sales are different
Right.
back then, but yeah.
Yeah.
Still,
Right, yeah, it's completely different. Like now you would have the sales and you would have streams, right? And views on YouTube or whatever, and like to conglomerate that into like, oh yeah, that equals a platinum record or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Now, but back then, like people were literally, I have a physical thing that they made. That's insane.
Dude, I have a suitcase of just CDs from back then. Because I had so many, and you got to put them somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe they're NFTs now, Brett. Maybe they're NFTs now. You never know.
I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Wow. Hey, no, I right-clicked it. It's mine now.
Yeah.
The album has since been certified diamond in 2005 for surpassing 10 million copies sold, and in 2017 went 11 times platinum. Holy
shit.
God.
To date, the album has sold upwards of 27 million worldwide, making it the best-selling debut album of the 21st century. As of September 2020, it has sold 12 million in the US alone. It was the 11th best-performing album on the Billboard 200 during the decade, reaching the top 10 in its 38th week, and then stayed there for 34 weeks.
Holy shit.
It re-entered at number 27 along with 3 of their other albums after Chester died, and resurfaced to the top 10, number 8 the following week. It also reached the number 1 spot on iTunes and Amazon charts during this time. But never a number 1 album. It only ever peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200 in early 2022, behind Weathered by Creed and J to the Low, L.O., the remixes by Jennifer Lopez.
Wow.
What?
Creed and J-Lo kept Linkin Park off the number 1 spot.
Creed.
Hey, can
And
you
now
take me
they're-
higher, man?
they're-
Who the fuck likes
obsolete.
Creed?
Hey, they played
Dude, a lot of people like Creed.
the cringiest Super Bowl ever.
I don't.
So
Did they play a Super Bowl?
Did
yeah, they did,
When?
or at least an AFC Championship
Something.
concert
I don't
or
remember
something
that.
like that.
So
Yeah,
which
he was
al-
like
that's
floating
what I'm
around. Shit. Wow.
I recognize the album cover because it's weird. What's the Oh, it's the one with My Sacrifice? Yeah.
Is that the with arms wide open?
Nope. That was the album before that. Actually, My Sacrifice is the only one I recognize.
I know
fucking
memes of that band. I don't give a fuck.
My Sacrifice. Anyway, the 20th anniversary edition was released in 2020. Go figure. Which included
That's true.
Reanimation, the Hybrid Theory EP, B-side rarities, Linkin Park Underground rarities, Forgotten Demos, a sampler cassette, and on the Super Deluxe Edition, 3 DVDs, including that frat one, Project Revolution 2002, and also the sequel to the DVD with the worst name we've ever come up with, is the full title for that one.
Cool.
And live performances on the third one from the Fillmore and Rock am Ring from 2001. The Super Deluxe Edition also included art prints and an 80-page book with never before seen pictures. The Frat DVD was originally released during the promotion for the album back in 2000, documenting the band's time on the road. And that's all I gotta say about that.
Yay.
Yay,
Beautiful.
we did it. Thank you.
Right.
We now
It
know
is,
everything about it.
Yeah, worth noting. I know this is the Hybrid Theory single, like just a plain top to bottom album, no extras. But we did talk a little bit about some of the extras. Two really good songs that I understand why they're not on the official album and they were added as bonus. But My December and High Voltage, pretty good. If you haven't heard them,
yeah, pretty good.
My December, like, and you gotta remember, you would have never have heard these two songs unless you stole them off the internet somehow, or somebody had a really rare CD because there was no internet.
Yeah.
Right? Like it wasn't just there to watch or listen to, or it was very
YouTube
hard
didn't
to get.
exist.
Right, it really was really hard to get to this. My December is one of the greatest songs I think Chester's ever written. It's so good.
Yeah.
And two, High Voltage pretty much started Fort Minor and Shinoda's side project because it's the same shit. It really is.
It is.
And so if you haven't heard those, go listen to those. But as a full album, I understand why those weren't, part of the album itself.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's much stronger and composed tighter, and what we got, I think. So it makes a lot of sense.
All right.
So yeah, Josh, it's technically your week if you want to start us off.
Sure. I'll talk a little bit about the album and why I like it so much. I just think it's like when you're a kid in the early 2000s, 2000 I was 8, 2002, 2003 Meteora time. This Linkin Park being like one of the heaviest bands in my repertoire, right? Like it's just,
Yep.
yeah, they're not in retrospect, right? You think about it now, they're not heavy, right? But like they were doing some cool stuff. It was the first time I heard, drop tune guitars like that. It was one of the first times you even hear something with like 7 strings in it because that's weird and no one knew what the fuck that.
We got bass drops.
I know, it was wild. Things
it was cool.
You heard them like it was like they were hitting things with sticks. Like there was some samples of like metal as for drum snare. Like it was like crazy. And he was screaming and cussing, and it was awesome. And as a kid, like getting into 6th grade and things like that, it's like wow, I'm edgy as fuck. This is epic, But yeah, I think a lot of my edge, a lot of my guitar playing, where I started to research bands really came from this. And that 2000 era metal really was fun, I think. Like that's when like the Breaking Benjamins was coming around. Yes, it's butt rock now, but like the Breaking Benjamins, the Linkin Parks, the Korns, the Slipknots. It was so fun and good, but so bad now. Like again, in retrospect, you listen back, you're like, goddamn shit. But I will say, this album, the producers did their fucking work because it doesn't sound bad at all. And even talking about, like you were saying, how Shinoda and the guys and everybody was like pushing me away sucks, right? Like they hate that song. It sounds great, even though it is a bad song, right? I don't think it's that bad. I think
I
it's really
like it.
fun.
I've always liked it.
Yeah, I
always
like it.
liked it too.
But everything sounds good top to bottom. It really does. I don't really ever have any complaints with the album in general. I do think the Mr. Han little break is useless, but I like it a lot anyway. You know, and I think there's a lot of variance in the album too, where you do get some really cool rapping parts, and you get a lot of cool, heavy guitar work. You get a lot of really nice lead vocal with Chester stuff. Like, it's just a nice mix in general. So whether or not that's, because like, think about it, if it was indie and they didn't have producers and the music industry wasn't like how it was then, and they tried to release an album like this now, like, just as an independent bunch of dudes with access to the internet, and they put out those demos, they would never. It really is getting everybody into the studio, working together and actually creating something, rather than just be like, yeah, I made this, these stems and I sent it to the drummer and then he recorded that. No, it's like everybody got in a, and you can see the passion and everything in that. It's super important. So yeah, I love this album. I'm pretty sure it's my highest score of all time. Okay. I'm not gonna give it yet. We got some things to get to.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure it's my highest score to date. But yeah, what about you, Brett? This is one of your favorite bands of all time.
This is one of my favorite bands of all time.
It is.
Whoa, no way. Yeah.
Punk. Right.
Never saw that coming.
Yeah.
No, I fucking love these guys, man. This was, this was my childhood. Like, I remember, blasting this shit in the headphones, going to my soccer games on the weekends. When I was doing the fucking red hair too for the, because of the team colors. I remember fucking taking the bus, going to school. Just, just kind of like sitting there, just by myself, just going. Because I didn't, we had a bunch of neighborhood kids. We were all friends and stuff, but, it's 6, 7 in the morning. I don't want to talk to them. I want to do my own damn thing. Just kind of, just get ready for the day. But yeah, no, man, I don't know. There's so much nostalgia and emotions and things that come back. Like Cody kind of said earlier too. Throughout my entire life, like, these guys have been there for the good stuff, the bad stuff. Through breakups, through moving, through just, the
life.
fun, just life. Yeah, It's just life. And they've always been there. Chester's kind of been a big brother in a sense. Growing up. But yeah, I don't know. This album in particular is just, I listened to it a shit ton. Back then, and I still do. Yeah, these guys are always gonna stick with me. That's that.
I would go so far to argue, and Brett, tell me if I'm wrong. This is probably, like, collectively our most listened to album.
All of us?
Of all of
three
us?
of us?
I mean, think about it. It goes back fucking 20-something years now. Like, and I've been listening to it since then.
Yep.
I don't know if there's another album I've listened to more in my lifetime.
I think the only one that would even come close, and it's a newer album than this, but it's just because of what it did for us, was American Idiot.
Yeah.
I think that's the only one that would compete.
That's 4 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Still technically in the same, 5-year span of, like, music coming out and touring and et cetera, et cetera. I think that's probably the only other one that I
like, of course, Meteora
would compete.
but like, that's, duh.
Yeah, I always used to say, like, my 2 favorite bands of all time were always, I guess, 3. Sometimes I added Blink-182 in there, but generally the top 2 would be a Green Day and a Linkin Park. Generally, I would have to give you a playlist, go home and download these off of your LimeWire, right? Or, like, I made a burnt CD. It would be like those 2 bands mixed together on a CD.
Every time.
Always.
Every time.
Every time. There were always the top 2 that would be on a, tiny little piece of shit SanDisk MP3 player. Like those would be there always.
Burnt CDs. Thank you very
There's
much.
only 3 bands I've ever had posters for. It was Green Day, Linkin Park, and
And
August
twice.
Winter. Shut up! Get out of here!
Just kidding.
Dumb shit.
Yeah, man. Like, Brett, you got me a little teary-eyed when you said the Big Brother thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, dude, it means a lot. Like, you know what I mean too, dude. Like, it's it's not an exaggeration.
No.
I know. Like when he passed away, I was at work and I was like, holy shit. And I told my boss and I was like, I don't know if I can focus anymore today.
That was.
I think I might need to go home.
It was quite easily the worst day of my life so far.
Shit.
I woke up to your text and Dad texted me and I'm like, that was when I was up in Canada. It was Canada Day weekend, their 4th of July kind of shit. And I see that immediately. I'm like, well, fuck. Okay, this is gonna be shit. And then one of my fucking roommates comes in and he goes, hey, you want to do shrooms?
Well,
I'm like, fuck it, let's see what happens. Bad. Real bad.
Never again.
Never again, dude.
safe to say it was a pretty downer of a week after that.
Yeah.
I just remember listening to everything over and again, like on the way home from work when that happened.
I didn't touch it for a year.
I wanted to feel pain, Brett. I wanted to feel it. I was like, no, we're doing this. All my heroes are dying. This is the first one that really affected me. Oh no.
Chris Cornell's birthday too, his best friend.
Yep.
Woo! I was just dealing with that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that would obviously hit you, like that was a quick succession because obviously you're a fan of that grungy shit, like really tight. And then like, oh, once I got out of the grungy and got other forms of music, now my idol in that section also disappeared. That fucking sucks. Right?
We got it. Yeah. No, it was.
Oh, was I Robo? Was
Dude,
I Robo?
No, you were in and out. You were like a Mr.
Hell yeah. Good. It's part of the show. I didn't even touch the microphone, so that was just internet.
Linkin Park edition. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, like, yeah, no. When it happened, and then I listened to Heavy, and I was like, oh no, this sucks. Like,
dude, the new album is so hard to listen to. It is so hard.
The pre-show, that was the first time I've listened to it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've given it quite a few listens.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's a tough one. Yep.
Yeah.
Especially when it starts getting to the end, you're like, oh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until recently that I could Park like actively, and not just on accident if it came up in a playlist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like. So.
But
yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. So yeah, back to this album though. Brett, you said it. There's so much to say about it. It's monumental. I think, like, as far as us, the three of us, there's not a better band that we can agree on, just wholeheartedly. Like, we can't disagree on anything.
No.
Like, you two love Green Day. I only really like Green Day. I wouldn't say I love them, but I think we all love Linkin Park.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like everything about this fucking thing is damn near perfect. It defines us. It defines our generation just as much as the other big defining moment that would come a year later. Yeah. Big old 9/11.
Yep.
Like.
Or Dale Earnhardt. Do it for Dale.
Yeah. It defines us. I think the reason why we do this show, the reason why I overanalyze lyrics and go into all this stuff a bit too much, it's from hearing this and just being blown away as a little 9-year-old, little 10-year-old, hearing all these different things come in that sounded nothing like anything else on the radio. Closest thing, Rage Against the Machine, sure, but like even with them, the lyrics aren't as accessible because they're touching on really like grown-up topics about the government and war and, you know, all this other stuff, you know, the System of a Down.
Yeah, we
same
had a
thing.
whole
Well,
year to wait to learn about that stuff.
Exactly. You know, like I said earlier, I made the joke. It taught us that it's okay to talk about your emotions as a, you know, a man, and you can still be heavy and be cool about it when you do it.
Mhm.
You know, I credit this album to the start of the person that I am today. You know, you had this, you had Bam Margera telling me that I can just, you know, create stuff and not have to go to school, really. You know, just create stuff and make it, and people will watch it or they won't, you know, who knows. Get out of your shell. And then you got this album, like blending in the hip hop, teaching me, a young boy from racist Louisiana, that hey, that rap music's not that bad. Maybe I should listen to more of it a little bit more. You know, if they can do it, why not me? And I remember specifically, and you know, there's memes about when Collision Course came out, and that's when there was perfect harmony between the rap and the rock community. I mean, we were getting there with this one. Because this is an album I remember everyone liked. We
Dude,
talked about Blink-182 being one of those albums, but this one, whew.
I just saw a meme the other day that I thought it was hilarious timing that it came up. Because there's two songs in the world that everybody knows the lyrics to. It's Happy Birthday and In the End.
That's true.
It's true.
Yeah, everybody knows it.
I mean, yeah, no, and like, as a vocalist and all that stuff, Chester and Mike's parts are unrivaled.
Mhm.
You know, singing In the End for karaoke, because, you know, karaoke guy. Boy, it's hard to do post Chester. You know, oh man, I got there, but it is hard to do without going midway through and getting all choked up. Josh, you said, you know, you got earlier, you know, you got the cursing and all that stuff. They didn't start cursing till minutes to midnight. They made it a very smart decision. No curse words
Bleed
on this
It Out
one.
was the first one.
Bleed It Out, because filthy mouth, no excuse. That was the first time, because it was a big like, oh no, Linkin Park's
Oh, you're
cursing
right.
now.
Yeah.
Stop the presses, they're
That's
getting
why
edgy.
the parents were okay with them too, is because they didn't
Yeah.
cuss.
And that's the other major thing. The reason why this was so widely accepted and acceptable was they didn't need a curse. And again, going back to Korn and Rage and all that stuff, not every parent's going to let you listen to that. So you're not going to get those ideals through. You're not going to get that music through. But if there's no parental advisory sticker on that, hey,
Accessibility.
the kids got funny hair,
So
but
it's
you know what?
Sold at Walmart and it's not censored.
It was
Yep.
a big thing back then.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, it's just so good.
I think there's nothing else to say.
no,
You know?
but I think it's time, Cody. I think it's time.
I think it's time.
Gah! Reviewed, skewed, and reviewed. Podcast within a podcast, where I go through the depths of the internet and try to find as many different publications reviewing this album with an actual rating, not a grade, not a C+, not a jammin' or whatever, because those aren't numbers, and I can't give a rating to that. That's, what are you doing? Just put a number by it, idiot. So I got 25 today. They range from reviews at the time to review. Brett, don't laugh. This is not nearly the most that I've ever done. I cut it off.
Oh, you cut it off.
Yeah.
This is your version of holding it back, is it?
Dude, we've had like 44 reviews on here once, okay?
Shit.
Okay, we have.
What, my cam?
I don't know. I think it was my chem, yeah. It was a lot.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah,
Fair
it's
enough.
a mixture. It's a mixture of reviews that came out at the time and also 20th anniversary ones. Just, you know, figured it still fits. So yeah, let's go through them. All Music, I have it at a 9. Classic Rock Magazine had it at a 6. Kerrang! Gave it a 10. Melodic gave it a 9. Melody Maker gave it an 8. NME gave it a 6. Pitchfork gave it a 7.6. Q gave it an 8. Rolling Stone gave it a 5. Not the lowest on this list. But
fuck?
Wait, 5
The
out
Rolling
of 10?
Yep, 5 out of 10. Rolling Stone album guide though gave it a 7. So whenever that came out, they were like, "Oh no, this is a good album."
Okay.
But originally they panned this. They did not like it. Album of the year, they gave it a 7.6. Sputnik's official rating was a 10. Their user rating, an 8.6. Immortal Reviews gave it a 9.5. Rate Your Music's user average was a 6.34. Everything Heavy gave it a 10. Ultimate Guitar's official was an 8.9. Ultimate Guitar's user was an 8.8. Metacritic's user was an 8.7. E! Online gave it a 9.1. Entertainment Weekly gave it an 8.3. Billboard gave it an 8. Blender gave it a 6. AV Club gave it a 4.
4.
And Brig News gave it an 8.
Wait, hold on. Who was it? AV Club?
AV Club.
The fuck?
Find them.
Yeah. I don't know.
Find them right now.
Now, I did say that I cut. I did say that I cut the reviews. I did not put any YouTube reviews on there this week. There were simply so many. They were so
no
many.
way.
No way.
Yeah.
We're not the first one doing it this week. Go figure.
Of course.
Didn't see that coming.
Yeah. So you know what? Hey, type it in the little search bar. Watch whatever video you want to. Go listen to everyone else.
No, fuckers, watch this one, damn it.
Or just watch this one. If you're even this far. So, guys, what do you think the average for the internet was?
I don't know.
8.4.
7.2.
Right, you're the closest. It's a 7.9.
Blasphemy.
7.9 on the dot.
Pure fucking sacrilege.
That's okay.
I don't agree.
I get it.
Tar
I
and
get it.
feather.
At the time,
Tar
I get
and
it.
feather.
I get it.
At the time, yeah, a lot of those ones that are low are at the time.
I don't agree still, but I get it.
I mean, when you're comparing them to fucking Creed, I guess.
Right?
Oh, Creed's way
Right,
better.
people are listen. If people are if people are liking Creed and somehow they're higher, they're not gonna like whatever the fuck Linkin Park's got.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Right? That's the only way. Must have been a lot of Creed fans back then.
Can you take me
Me
higher?
higher.
What
What up, Paul?
my
That's weird.
sacrifice.
Where was Nickelback back then?
Just coming out.
Were they brand
being
new?
birthed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, so
Canada's
Enough about the
spitting out
internet.
another one.
Yep.
yeah, y'all make fun of Creed, but you forget the market that the Christian contemporary has. Okay, that was a whole plot point of a South Park episode.
Kill him!
It is.
Kill them all.
All right, great album by Metallica.
Plus one.
Faith plus
In
one.
GTA.
In GTA. All right, so, fellas, let's run down the list. Let's find out where
Okay.
it goes. Tell me, Josh, what's your rankings?
Right. So my categories: lyrics and songwriting, 10. I think it's
Hell yeah.
it's
Let's
done.
go.
It's done so well. I think the song as a whole. I think the lyrics fit. Even the rap parts. If you're not a rap fan, right? They do something with hip hop that really works well with the genre blend. I think they're telling stories. I don't think it's just to make noise, right? The songwriting as a whole is just great. Musicianship, again, it's not the most technical shit you're listening to, but looking back now that I have a little more of an understanding about music, you know, I'm older, right? I'm not 8 anymore. The fact that I was looking up, like, man, that sounds so low. Like, what's going on? It is a 7-string guitar. It is, you know, B standard in some tracks. I'm like, okay, so they're doing things interesting with music, with their compositions. So I think that warrants a decent score, 8.3. Production, it sounds so good for something that was literally being produced in 1999. Off of demos that sounded like straight up fucking ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that
So
there's the power of Warner Music Group, okay?
Yep.
Right. I was
That's what
like,
happens
God
when you got
damn,
money.
that shit. It sounded bad.
Money.
So production 9.2. It sounds so good. It still stands the test of time 22 years later. Good fucking job. Originality, I think this is super original. Yes, there is new metal in this time, but they're doing something a little bit extra, and we touched upon that in our critiques, that the subject matter is different, right? I think that's the original bits. I think them having a palatable reach is original, compared to literally that fucking shit from Korn. Like, that's not palatable. Okay. But I think the stuff that Chester's screaming about, I think some of the cool bits that Shinoda is rapping about, it affects a large span, which is original in that time. And it's not Creed, so there's that. And memorability, 10. I know it all. It's all great. It's beautiful. It's a great album. We've said it enough. It's just top tier. So nothing below an 8 for me. So all together, Cody,
Okay,
Brett,
ready.
Hello.
chat, 9.22. I'm pretty sure that's my highest score
Okay.
of all time on this show. The 50th episode, my highest score.
Yep. Mine's a little higher, but yes, you are correct.
And the only reason why mine isn't higher is because I got to leave room for Meteora.
Okay, that's fair.
I left room.
I left room too. I don't
Some.
know if it'll get there, but
Some,
no, I
yeah,
left room.
there is a room.
0.03 of room for y'all. Right? 9.97.
We're about to find
Yeah,
out.
no.
We're
Yeah, you're about to find out.
about to find out.
Okay.
Who's going next?
Brett.
Me? Hello. That's me. All right. So songwriting, lyrics. Yeah, perfect. What? It's Linkin Park.
What else?
Literally, everyone knows these. Yeah. Musicianship. Here is the one thing that is obvious to me. Mr. Han's best. Dude, like, cause like when I was kind of mentioning it during the music videos. It's like Rob's not doing a lot. Like, he's doing cool beats. So don't get me wrong. Not the most technical things in the world to play throughout the entire album. The guitar parts, the bass parts. We're gonna hit a note. We're gonna stay there for a minute. Like,
It's not super intricate.
Falling
It's
2,
not the most
3,
intricate
4,
shit.
skin 2,
Uh-huh.
3, 4,
Uh-huh.
wounds 2.
Not the most technical shit, but because of the way it's packaged, the way that everything's put together, and the sounds and the quality of it, still up there. I give it like an 8.5 or something like that. Yeah, it's still good. Production 10, dude. Like, you can't argue that. Like, it still sounds today brand new. It
Sounds better than brand new.
Like,
I know. The amount of shit we listen to every week.
yeah, it
Jesus
does. Like,
Christ.
it's gonna stand the test of time on this one.
Yep.
You know, originality again, 10. Dude, how did you?
Jesus Christ.
You're gonna tell me you can listen to any of the Linkin Park song and be like, who is this?
Yeah.
Like, that's not
You're
gonna
right.
happen.
You're
It's
right.
not gonna happen.
You're right.
You can't.
You're
you know,
right.
it had. It has to. It has to be 10. And memorability, I remember all of it. Duh. You know,
Duh.
it's all. Duh. So,
Duh.
this is
Okay.
by far my highest score, and I didn't think I'd ever hit anywhere near this kind of number.
Oh man, I'm excited.
You ready?
What is it?
You ready? 9.6.
9.6. Woo!
Up there.
Killer.
Up there.
There.
Killer.
I said there. I left a room
Absolutely killer.
for Meteora.
I'm a little bit more higher. All right, Creed. All right, Scott Strapp.
Can you
Okay.
take me higher, Cody? Can you
I
do
can.
it?
So, songwriting and lyrics, gave it a 9.8. These are easily, again, I can sing this album front to back to front, with my eyes closed. Well, you don't really need your eyes for singing, but what you get the point. I know this thing inside and out, which is also the memorability. But as I said during the review, like, the fact that there was no cursing and made it very acceptable, and we're talking about interesting things in 2000 that no one else is talking about, like. The fact that they sound so drastically different from the demos, which show that the band understood that, yeah, they're not going to get it right the first time. Let's keep evolving and advancing and listening to people talking about stuff, which is mature. And there were kids back then. Crazy. So 9.8. Musicianship, Brett, I pretty much agree. 9. Not the most complicated stuff, but it's packaged and handled very well. The layerings and everything going on, the little whispers and crawling.
If it didn't have all that, it would be way lower.
It would be way lower. But man, there's just so much added stuff. It like everything that Rick Beato talks about on what makes these songs great. Like you hear all that stuff, and now that you go back and you listen for those things, you can hear, oh yeah, the bass isn't doing crazy bits, but there are times when that whoever's on the bass is doing some fucking fun stuff. There are, harmonies like the fifth in Crawling that later, yeah, Aaron Lewis is going to sing it and bring it more to the forefront, but you hear it, it's there, it's in there. Like the production, 10. So fucking good is what I was leading into, kind of a mix between musicianship and production. And then, yeah, special shout out to the producer, like taking what they did have and being like, we're going to shine this turd a little bit, but boy, are we going to get a diamond. And diamond they did. Originality, gave it a 9.8. Only didn't give it a 10 is because nu metal and rap rock existed before it, but only taking 0.2 off of that.
Fair.
Brett, I highly agree. You don't hear anything off this album and think anything other than Linkin Park. Chester's voice is, you could tell it from a mile away.
Yep.
Mike's words and rapping and flow is his own and immaculate. The way the songs use dynamics and they go soft and then they fucking go hard, and it's just everything about it. And then memorability. Here we are, What do you think it is? Let's go to a 10.
Of course it's a 10.
So, I didn't go... I mean, my lowest one's a 9, but other than that, didn't go lower than 9.5. My rating, 9.72.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Mine is up there. Now, Josh, I went and I looked, before we get into the review part, our other former number one was the Black Parade. Josh, you asked, oh, what did I rank everything? Here's our rankings for Black Parade, which, as you'll see on there, Brett, if we could go over to the list. Is that 9.26? 9.22?
We're getting there.
9.29.
There we go.
9.29. Our rankings for that one, I went back and looked. You could go watch that episode on youtube.com, Geek Republic Media, Black Parade, episode 25.
25.
Josh, you gave that one a 9.15.
Yep.
You gave this one a 9.20?
2.2.
2.2.
2-2. Mm-hmm.
Brett, you gave the Black Parade a 9.25.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's an obvious.
Yeah. I gave it a 9.48.
Yep. So this is higher for all of us. This makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I think this one means more to all of us too. Like Black
so
Parade's
much
cool
more.
and all, but
So much
like,
Yep.
we wouldn't have Black Parade without this one. Everything comes back to this album.
Yep.
Okay, well, I have got the average between the three of us. As soon as I could fucking find out.
All right. We have a 9.22, a 9.6, and a 9.79.
9.72.
9.72.
9.72.
Easy answer. I'm just gonna do it. So we.
Yeah, it's number one. Duh.
Yeah.
I think this might be like right at your number. Well, let's go 9.64.
Hey, 9.64. Brett, what say you?
9.58.
You are both over. It's a 9.51.
Ooh.
There it is.
Okay.
Nothing will ever beat that.
Satisfied with that.
For me, personally, I know something that can beat it. But I think compositionally as a channel, I don't think it will ever do it. Because like what you said, this is universally loved by all three of us, whereas American Idiot is only loved by 2/3.
Yes.
No, I love American Idiot too.
Yeah,
That's my
but is
favorite
it?
DJ.
But it's you're not gonna give it that
not
score.
over a 9.72?
I don't know. I like theater stuff. They did a lot of theatrical shit. I don't know. It just
Okay,
depends
full
on how I'm
Broadway.
feeling today.
It did.
Yeah.
So when we get to American Idiot, we'll see. But I know, for me, that's probably I was thinking about it. I was like, man, this is such a high score, and it makes a lot of sense for me. But thinking about like what could beat this, for me, I think American Idiot is a perfect 10.
American
Oh
Idiot.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, American Idiot's going to be one of those other milestone episodes, like 75
Right.
or 100.
Yeah. Agreed. There's not. Linkin Park, you belong there forever until
Until Green Day comes
maybe
along.
until maybe Green Day. But even then, I still think that's
That's gonna be a
slugfest.
tough one. That one's gonna be a tough
Yeah.
one.
Do y'all think that either Reanimation or Meteora can topple Hybrid Theory?
I think so.
Probably.
I think both, to be honest.
I'm
be
not
realistic
sure.
on
I
my
know.
score.
I know. For me personally, I think Meteora is better than Hybrid Theory. But again, maybe we'll switch spots. Like, what if I go to 9.72 on Meteora? Brett, you're still sitting in the center, and then Cody, you pull yours down a bit because you think the Hybrid Theory is better. Maybe if we just flip around.
See,
Steve, I don't even know if I would rank Meteora lower than this though. Like we would have to do the episode because like
True.
Okay,
I
I
don't
can tell you
know,
off the
Meteora's just as good.
it's just as good. Because it's even older and they're getting even better. There's even more intricate parts. Therefore, my music score goes
Yeah.
up. It's everything else is the same.
Yeah. And then Reanimation, I've
thing.
always thought
Same
took
thing.
everything that this album did and just made it better.
Yep. Same
So-
exact thing.
There's space to topple this, but the 25 episode reign of Black Parade is over.
Yeah.
That was a good minute.
I mean,
Bill
honestly,
Murray is out of the top 10. Damn it.
and again, we look at our top 10, right? Even so top 12 is 8.5 and above. Top 10, that's so hard. The top 10, 11, and 12, they're so close to each other. And even number 9, right? So
Yeah.
that's tough because like that's literally like 0.1, 0.2 away from each other in some instances.
That is a close race right there. That chunk.
Right. Jumping up to the 8.8s, that's difficult to break some of these. But again, it's going to be, unless something remarkable, I don't think it's going to be a modern album. I think it's going to be nostalgia always. A retro review is always what push some of these down out of the tops, in my opinion.
I don't know, Jason,
don't think
you've
there's
been
anything.
asking for this one for so long. We're gonna talk about it, damn it.
Yeah, this is your fault, Jason.
Yeah, we're having emotional damage.
Yeah.
But all right, well, hey, that's it. We have to pick an album for next Sunday.
Whose choice is it?
It's my turn. It's my turn.
Well, no, this was your week.
Isn't
Yeah, this was your week. I don't know if we want to keep going with it. We're gonna get off kiltered with our Thursday review, though. I guess it's,
Thursday I chose Newfound Glory.
yeah. So this would have been your Sunday, because
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. You guys can choose
right,
because I don't listen to anything new.
I'm glad. Cody, it's your pick.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Same. Pick something weird. Let's get something
Oh,
weird.
I was gonna pick something weird. I was gonna go with a meme, because when Corey and I have been going out to have safety meetings, you gotta feel real safe, you know. When you're
Oh
at work.
yeah, that's what it
You're
is.
around a lot of needles. Your tattoos get a little infected. You know what I mean? You have to go on many safety meetings, right?
Mini.
Well, one of the things we've been listening to, and thank God, because I can't stand the country that he listens to now, has been Oliver Tree. And honestly, not that bad. So I'm going to go with a meme pick. It's a meme. I'm going to go with Oliver Tree, Cowboy Tears.
Fuck
Have you listened to this? I
No,
don't even know.
but I did put the song that we watched the video for while we were safety. And Boy, is it funny. It's gonna be a funny time.
Okay.
I'm
Imagine
gonna hate
There
this,
you
aren't
go, chat.
imagine Electric Carboy, but not, without the metal breakdown bits, but
I?
still,
Cowboy?
yeah.
Carboy.
So yeah, cowboy tears. Unless you want to do, I don't know, Wolves, Ghost.
I mean, I was actually thinking about Ghost at some point just to see, but honestly,
y'all
who gives a shit? We only do this the Sunday show so we can get back to the Thursday show, okay?
Yeah, I know, right?
Shit. Until more good music comes out, we gotta wait.
I don't think I would rate Ghost lower than Korn. Are you insane? Ghost is just whatever, but Korn slightly offended me.
All right, but anyways, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcasts. Goodbye. We're gonna go listen to music and have a fun time. I don't know for how long because this review went for a hell of a long time.
Yep, a little bit.
But again, we have a Sunday, so it's not like we can't get to all the songs at some point. Okay, or a Thursday. Fuck, I don't even know what day it is anymore.
We'll see you later.
The next time. God damn it. Now goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye.